In a stunning move that has sent shockwaves through the legal and political world, former President Donald Trump has abruptly fired a top federal prosecutor in Sacramento just hours after she reminded Border Patrol agents of their obligation to follow federal court rulings. The prosecutor, Michele Beckwith, had issued a warning that agents in her district could not detain people without reasonable suspicion. Her dismissal has now become a flashpoint in the ongoing clash between the Trump administration and prosecutors perceived as standing in the way of its aggressive immigration policies. The sudden order came on July 15th. At exactly 4:31 in the afternoon, Beckwith received an email stating that the president had directed her removal from office. Less than 6 hours earlier, she had circulated her own email to Border Patrol leadership, stressing that her office expected full compliance with the Constitution and court orders. By that evening, her government laptop and phone were disabled, and the termination notice arrived in her personal inbox. The firing appears to be directly connected to her conversations with Gregory Bovino, the Border Patrol chief in El Centro, nearly 600 miles south of Sacramento. Bovino had asked about legal protections for his agents during an upcoming raid. Beckwith reminded him that agents could not indiscriminately stop or detain people in her district, citing a federal court order from April that prohibited broad immigration sweeps north of Bakersfield. Despite her caution, Bovino proceeded with the operation 2 days later, targeting a Home Depot in Sacramento. Speaking afterward in a video at the state capitol, he declared that sanctuary cities were a myth and insisted that his agents were acting within constitutional bounds. In a separate statement, Bovino even claimed Beckwith's warning reflected a bias against law enforcement. The controversy comes amid a shifting legal landscape. The U.S. Supreme Court recently overturned a ruling from Los Angeles that had limited immigration raids. On September 8th, the court allowed federal agents to stop individuals based on race, language, or occupation alone. While this undermined the earlier Sacramento order, Beckwith had continued to assert its authority in her district, right up until her firing. Her removal is not an isolated incident. Just last week, U.S. Attorney Eric Siebert resigned under intense pressure, only to be swiftly replaced by Trump's aide, Lindsay Halligan, following a directive from Attorney General Pam Bondi. Siebert had been leading sensitive inquiries involving New York Attorney General Letitia James and former FBI Director James Comey. Together, these cases paint a picture of prosecutors being sidelined or forced out when they refuse to bend to the administration's agenda. In her response, Michele Beckwith made clear that she intends to fight her termination. Speaking to the New York Times, she explained that her actions were not political, but grounded in her duty to the Constitution. She said she was simply an American standing up for the law, and warned that citizens must continue insisting that federal authorities respect court rulings. Her dismissal highlights the deepening divide between Trump's enforcement-driven immigration policies and those in government who seek to hold agencies accountable to constitutional standards. This story raises troubling questions about the independence of the justice system, the limits of executive power, and the ongoing battle over immigration enforcement in America. Thank you for watching InsightPulse. If you want to stay updated with stories that matter, make sure to like this video, share it with others, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, InsightPulse, for more in-depth coverage of today's most important developments.